Miyamotomusashi, the greatest swordsman ever. My guy was undefeated through 61 duels and several wars. Bro caught his first body at just 13 years young, winning a duel by beating a sword-wielding adult to death with a wooden stick. Yeah. What possesses a 13-year-old to be so raw? A dad that blamed him for his mother dying while giving birth to him. And since Papa Musashi was an expert at martial arts too, those whoopings were out of this world. In fact, Musashi's dad was so famous that he was called he without equal. So his son eventually becoming the greatest swordsman ever was basically him taking a giant dump on his father's life's work. Deservedly so though, because when Miyamoto was just 7, Papa Musashi threw a knife at him right before throwing him out the house. Yeah, dad without equal. Luckily, Musashi's uncle was a great warrior turned monk, because this family is just entirely made up of anime stereotypes. And the uncle put the 7-year-old boy through his first training arc. 6 years later, Musashi caught his first body in said duel where he ended a renowned swordsman with a stick. Naturally, that made his dad proud. Papa Musashi welcomed his son back and proved his great parenting skills once again by enlisting his teenage son in his army to have him fight in his first war. Classic puberty activities. Miyamoto Musashi's legend grew over more war campaigns along with many more duels where he embarrassed entire schools of swordsmanship in the process, most of all the famous Yoshioka clan. Musashi whooped their best fighter, his master, and his master's master. The man had no chill. Since Musashi deceased so many masters, he was regularly ambushed by groups of people seeking revenge. So he learned that when faced with more than one opponent, 2 swords are better than 1. The principal idea behind every devil's threesome. So eventually, Musashi opened his own school, teaching the way of 2 swords, known as Niten Ichi-ryu. After making literally all swords masters his sons, Musashi then went into his last duel against a man known as the demon of the western provinces, the infamous Sasaki Kojiro. Yeah, that's the dude from Records of Ragnarok. And in that legendary battle, Musashi whooped Kojiro into the afterlife with a wooden sword that he carved out of a paddle on his way to the duel. As I said, the man had no chill. In his later years though, Musashi did find his chill and devoted his life to writing books in the mountains and wrote the Book of 5 Rings, which is still studied today. And if there was one word to summarize his teachings, it would be focus, 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 focus. Musashi's life was all about focused practice, be it martial arts or mental arts, and that meant constant restraint and not being swayed by pleasure, aka No Nut November for life. There's so much more on the battle of Musashi versus Kojiro, and actually Kojiro's life in general, because that dude was basically as amazing as Musashi. And you can watch my Kojiro video exclusively on my Patreon right now. And here's a little preview. The battle of the 2 greatest samurai of all time. Miyamoto Musashi versus Sasaki Kojiro. Y'all know Miyamoto Musashi, but Sasaki Kojiro is more than a Records of Ragnarok character. 16th century Japan knew my guy Kojiro as the demon of the western provinces. Plus, the dude was clearly on that guts juice because his weapon of choice was the nodashi, a sword that can be between 100 and 300 centimeters long. When training with this monstrosity, a young Kojiro sent his master's younger brother into the afterlife during training and then acted like he wouldn't get kicked out of the dojo for that, talking about, I think it's time that I go out there and start my own school. And my man did that. And his Ganryu sword style then became famous, like a real-life anime character. My guy Kojiro